Let's start today's class. We are discussing Karl Marx. So we'll start questions and answers in Karl Marx. We'll start question and answers in Karl Marx. Karl Marx సంబంధించి question and answers start చేద్దాం. Okay, we'll start questions and answers with respect to Karl Marx. Done. So first topic. This topic is little confusing. I'll try to explain in a more clear way. But even if it is confusing, don't worry. In the entire Karl Marx, first question is little confusing. Don't worry, I'll try to explain. Dialectical materialism topic. Dialectical materialism. DIALECTICAL. Dialectical materialism. DIALECTICAL. Dialectical materialism. Okay. First of all, we should understand what is this word dialectical materialism. What is this word dialectical materialism? The word dialectics signifies thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Dialectics means thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Thesis means a truth, a partial truth, or an argument. Antithesis is a counter, again a partial truth. Thesis, antithesis. And synthesis is the ultimate truth or nearer to truth or absolute truth. The ultimate truth or nearer to truth or absolute truth. So dialectics means thesis, antithesis, synthesis. We call it as dialectical method. Plato also applied dialectical method. But Karl Marx borrowed this dialectical method. That is discussion, debate, argument. One argument, counter argument. One truth, one partial truth, again a partial truth, and synthesis is nearer to truth or very close to truth or absolute truth. So Karl Marx borrowed dialectical method from Hegel. Karl Marx borrowed dialectical method from Hegel. Karl Marx belongs to Germany. Hegel also belongs to Germany. Karl Marx belongs to Germany. Hegel also belongs to Germany. Karl Marx borrowed dialectical method from Hegel. Remember this point. But Hegel applied dialectical method. There is a political thinker called Hegel. 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 But Hegel applied dialectical method to interpret the ideas. Or consciousness. See, you have to understand first. We live in two different worlds. One is the world of contemplation and the world of materialism. Contemplation means ideas. Materialism means the material belongings to us, like our cars, our bungalows, or our wealth. All these things are material positions which humans have, whereas contemplation means ideas. So Hegel applied dialectical method to interpret the ideas, whereas Karl Marx applied dialectical method to interpret the matter, material things, material relations. So what Karl Marx proposed was dialectical materialism. హెగెలేమో డైలెక్టికల్ మెథడ్ దేనికి వాడాడు? ఐడియాస్ని ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ చేయడానికి. కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ డైలెక్టికల్ మెథడ్ ఎవరి దగ్గర నుంచి బారో చేసుకున్నాడు? కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ బారోడ్ dialectical method from Hegel and applied this to interpret the matter. Or material relations. So the Karl Marx philosophy is called dialectical materialism. I told you a quote yesterday. It is not the consciousness which determines existence, but it is the existence which determines the consciousness. I am repeating. It is not the consciousness which determines the existence, but it is the existence which determines the consciousness. That means it is the material world which determines the ideas rather than ideas determining the material world. So, according to Karl Marx, matter is primary. Matter means monetary, material. So, Vastu Prapancham in Telugu. Matter is primary. Matter is primary. Mind is secondary. Mind means ideas. According to Karl Marx, matter is primary, mind is secondary, ideas are secondary. According to Hegel, ideas are primary. He applied dialectical method to ideas. Okay, this is the first paragraph of the answer. Take down the first paragraph. Karl Marx, Karl Marx borrowed, Karl Marx borrowed dialectical method, Dialectical. Karl Marx borrowed dialectical method from German philosopher Hegel, and sought, SOUGH, and sought to combine it with, దేంతో కంబైన్ చేశాడు కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ డైలెక్టికల్ మెథడ్ని, దేంతో కంబైన్ చేశాడు, అండ్ sought to combine it with materialism, అంటే మ్యాటర్, మెటీరియల్ రిలేషన్స్. యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ ఎస్టర్డే, ఆల్ హ్యూమన్ రిలేషన్స్ ఆర్ ఎకనమిక్ రిలేషన్స్, అంటే మ్యాటర్, మెటీరియల్ రిలేషన్స్. సో డైలెక్టికల్ మెథడ్ని ఆయన దేనికి కన్సిడర్ చేశారు, మ్యాటర్కి. Hegel, next point, Hegel had postulated, postulated, Hegel had postulated that idea or consciousness, was the essence of universe. Idea or consciousness was the essence of universe. And that all social relations are the manifestations of the changing form of ideas. All social relations are the manifestations of the changing forms of ideas. All social relations are the manifestations of the changing forms of ideas. సో హెగెల్ ఏమంటాడంటే ఐడియా ఈజ్ ద ఎసెన్స్ ఆఫ్ యూనివర్స్. కాంటెంప్లేషన్ అంటే థాట్స్, ఐడియాస్ ఆర్ ద ఎసెన్స్ ఆఫ్ యూనివర్స్ అండ్ దే ప్లే గ్రేట్ రోల్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అంటాడు. ఐడియాసే ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటాడు హెగెల్. కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ ఏమంటాడు, ఐడియాస్ కాదు, అది కాదు, ఓన్లీ మ్యాటర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటాడు. నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, ideas transforms into new forms because of its inherent tension. So when new idea comes, there will be a counter argument and there will be some truth in that, there will be partial truth in that. Ideas transform into new forms because of its inherent tension. Full stop. Dialectical method implies, dialectical, Dialectical, dialectical method implies thesis, 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 in brackets partial truth, comma, antithesis, in brackets opposition to thesis, again a partial truth. I'm repeating, dialectical method implies thesis, THESIS, bracket lo partial truth, comma, antithesis, bracket opposite to thesis, again a partial truth, bracket close, resulting in the synthesis. What do you mean by synthesis? What do you mean by synthesis? Synthesis అంటే ఏంటి? Resulting in the synthesis. What do you mean by synthesis? Synthesis, absolute truth or nearer to truth? Synthesis బ్రాకెట్లో రాసుకోండి. Which is nearer to the truth, which is nearer to the truth or absolute truth? Which is nearer to the truth or absolute truth? We'll stop. Next para. As long as synthesis itself contains partial truth, as long as synthesis itself contains partial truth, as long as synthesis itself contains partial truth, comma, synthesis లో full truth రాలేదనుకోండి, nearer truth రాలేదనుకోండి, as long as synthesis itself contains partial truth, comma, it takes on the role of thesis, it takes on the role of thesis and undergoes the same process until this process reaches absolute truth. Until this process reaches absolute truth. సరిపోద్ది. ఫుల్ స్టాప్. నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్. కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ ఏం చేశాడు చెప్పండి? ఆన్ ద కాంట్రరీ, comma, Karl Marx believed that matter, M-A-T-T-R, matter and not the idea, which was the essence of the universe. On the contrary, Karl Marx believed that matter, ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా, matter means material relations. On the contrary, Karl Marx believed that matter and not the ideas which are the essence of universe. And that social institutions were manifestations of changing material conditions. అంటే ఆర్థిక పరమైన సంబంధాలు ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అవుతుంటే దాంతో పాటు అన్ని సంబంధాలు ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. And that social institutions were manifestations of changing material conditions. Next para. For Karl Marx, comma, matter is primary, ideas are secondary. For Karl Marx, comma, matter is primary, ideas are secondary. Karl Marx prakaram matter is primary, ideas are secondary. Full stop. Matter underwent the dialectical process. Matter underwent the dialectical process because of its inherent tension. Matter underwent the dialectical process అంటే there will be a dialectical process. Matter underwent the dialectical process because of its inherent tension until perfect material conditions exemplified by a until perfect material conditions exemplified, EXEMPLIFIED, exemplified by a rational mode of production, come into existence. Exemplified by a rational mode of production come into existence. So haves and have-nots, master and slave, there will be tension. Landlord and serf, there will be tension. So capitalist and worker, there will be tension. There will be revolution and a rational mode of production will exist. So this is called inherent tension in social relations, in material relations. So dialectical process and materialism combine dialectical materialism. Yesterday I told you there is a man called Engels. Who is Engels? Who is Engels? I told you there is a man called Engels, friend, philosopher, and financier of Karl Marx. And Engels was also a Marxist, but a very rich man. Engels was also a Marxist, but a very rich man. Kada. Engels also discussed about dialectical materialism, followed by Karl Marx and inspired by Karl Marx. Engels also discussed about dialectical materialism. Take down the next point. Friedrich Engels, F-R-I-E-D-R-I-C-H. F-R-I-E-D-R-I-C-H. Friedrich Engels, E-N-G-E-L-S, Engels, postulated, P-O-S-T-U-L-A-T-E-D, postulated 3 laws of LAWS, postulated 3 laws of dialectical materialism, postulated 3 laws of dialectical materialism. Okay, postulated 3 laws of dialectical materialism. ఆయన dialectical materialism సంబంధించి 3 laws చెప్పాడు అనమాట. సో ఫస్ట్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్, దెన్ ఐ డిక్టేట్ నోట్స్. ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్వాంటిటీ ఇంటూ క్వాలిటీ అండ్ వైస్ వర్సా. అంటే కొన్ని డిస్కషన్స్లో, కొన్ని ఇష్యూస్లో క్వాంటిటీ, క్వాలిటీ, ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్వాంటిటీ ఇంటూ క్వాలిటీ అండ్ వైస్ వర్సా, ద ఇంటర్పెనిట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఆపోజిట్స్. వాట్ డూ యూ మీన్ బై ద ఇంటర్పెనిట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఆపోజిట్స్ అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, when I am talking about Plato, I told all men in this world are bad. Say I am A. A told all men in this world are bad. B told all women in this world are bad. A in చెప్పింది all men in this world are bad. B అని చెప్పింది all women in this world are bad. But in these two opposite statements there is partial truth. So some men are good, some men are bad. Some women are good, some women are bad. Combining these two partial truths, we will bring out a nearer truth or absolute truth. So we are penetrating two opposite things into one. So interpenetration of opposites. Interpenetration of opposites. So first point is the transformation of quality into quantity and vice versa. The second point is interpenetration of opposites. The third point is not interpretation, it is interpenetration. Interpenetration of opposites. The third point is negation of the negation. Negation of the negation. The third point is negation of the negation. What do you mean by negation of the negation? Negation of the negation ante, I said sun rises in the west. I said sun rises in the west. I have negated the truth. Truth enti? Sun rises in the east. What I have done? I have negated the truth. Truth ki opposite em cheppanu? Sun rises in the west. Then you have come, నువ్వు వచ్చావు, నువ్వేం చెప్పావు? No, sun rises in the east, not in the west. You negated my negation. I have negated one thing and you have negated other thing. So the negation of the negation, I have negated. నేనేం చేశాను? సన్ రైజెస్ ఇన్ ద ఈస్ట్ అనే అంశాన్ని నెగేట్ చేశాను, అంటే అది కరెక్ట్ కాదని చెప్పాను. I have negated the statement sun rises in the east, stating that sun rises in the west. You have come, నువ్వు వచ్చి ఏం చెప్పావు? No, what you said is wrong. What you said is wrong. That means you have negated my negation. So dialectical method లో ఈ 3 laws ఉంటాయి. First is the transformation of quantity into quality and vice versa. Second is interpenetration of opposites. Third is negation of negation. Who postulated these 3 laws? Who postulated these 3 laws? Engels. ఇంక అయిపోయింది ఆన్సర్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇంక అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైపోయిందా? ఇది ఉన్నట్టు బట్టి వేసాలి, రాసుకోండి. The transformation of quantity into quality and vice versa. The transformation of quantity into quality and vice versa. Number 2, the interpenetration of opposites. The interpenetration of opposites. Number 3, the negation of the negation, the negation of the negation. Okay, so finally you have to end up this with the quote. Karl Marx said, you know this quote already. Karl Marx said, start quotations, it is not the consciousness, it is not the consciousness, it is not the consciousness that determines the existence. It is not the consciousness that determines existence, but it is the existence. But it is the existence that determines the consciousness. I'm repeating, it is not the consciousness that determines the existence, but it is the existence that determines the consciousness. But it is the existence that determines the consciousness. It is the existence that determines the consciousness. Clear? So, ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్, హిస్టారికల్ మెటీరియలిజం ఆర్ మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ ఆఫ్ హిస్టరీ. Historical materialism or materialistic interpretation of history. Next question title, historical materialism or materialistic interpretation of history. Kindly analyze the title first. Materialistic interpretation of history ante you are interpreting the history based on economic relations and simple. What do you mean by materialistic interpretation of history? మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ ఆఫ్ హిస్టరీ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, నువ్వు హిస్టరీని ఆర్థిక సంబంధాలతో ముడిపెట్టి చదువుతున్నావు అని తెలుగులో, రైట్? యు ఆర్ స్టడీయింగ్ హిస్టరీ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు మ్యాటర్, మెటీరియల్ రిలేషన్స్. ఆల్ హ్యూమన్ రిలేషన్స్ ఆర్ ఎకనమిక్ రిలేషన్స్. ఏన్షియంట్ పీరియడ్లో మాస్టర్ అండ్ స్లేవ్, మిడివల్ పీరియడ్లో ల్యాండ్ లార్డ్ అండ్ సర్ఫ్, మోడర్న్ పీరియడ్లో capitalist and worker. In ancient period, in medieval period, in modern period, in whatever name you may call, there are two contending classes. What do you mean by contending classes? Fighting classes, conflicting classes. In whatever name you may call, there are two contending classes, the haves and have-nots. Okay, and according to Karl Marx, in every society there will be some production relations which determine the values of everything. So economics is the base. Economics is the base and all other relations are superstructure. Karl Marx have given a building like metaphor, a building like analogy. So a building cannot stand without a foundation. A building cannot stand without a foundation. In the same way, all other relations, social, cultural, political, religious, all other relations are actually superstructures. The base is economics. All other relations are superstructures. The base is economics. Okay, all other relations are superstructures, including family relations, including societal relations, including the base is economics anamata. So base and superstructure concept never forget, because it will again come in Gramsci. ఇదే కాన్సెప్ట్ మళ్ళీ గ్రామ్స్కి దీన్ని వేరేగా ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ చేస్తాడు, కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ మారుస్తాడు. గ్రామ్స్కి వాజ్ ఆల్సో నెక్స్ట్ పొలిటికల్ థింకర్, గ్రామ్స్కి, యాంటోనీ గ్రామ్స్కి. సో వాట్ ఈస్ బేస్? వాట్ ఈస్ బేస్? ప్రొడక్షన్ రిలేషన్స్, ఎకనామిక్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ సూపర్స్ట్రక్చర్? వాట్ ఈస్ సూపర్స్ట్రక్చర్? ఆల్ అదర్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ సొసైటీ. నీ కల్చర్ కావచ్చు, నీ డాన్సెస్ కావచ్చు, నీ ఆర్ట్ కావచ్చు, నీ లీగల్ రిలేషన్స్, నీ సోషల్ రిలేషన్స్, ఆల్ అదర్ రిలేషన్స్, all other relations. Okay, base and superstructure, base and superstructure. Okay, and according to Karl Marx, there are modes of production and there are some elements of production, but the entire thing is base, rest all is superstructure. Ide materialistic interpretation of history or historical materialism. Dialectical materialism looks like little philosophical. Historical materialism looks like little scientific. మనం గమనిస్తే డైలెక్టికల్ మెటీరియలిజం కొంచెం ఫిలసాఫికల్గా అనిపించింది. కానీ ఇప్పుడు హిస్టారికల్ మెటీరియలిజం కొంచెం సైంటిఫిక్గా, అవును కరెక్టే కదా, నిజమే కదా అనే ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ లిటిల్ బిట్ వీ కెన్ హ్యావ్ దట్ సైంటిఫిక్ అవుట్లుక్ అనమాట. సో రాసుకోండి, చివరిలో చార్ట్ వస్తుంది. ద చార్ట్ ఫర్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈజ్ దట్ కమ్స్ ఇన్ ద లాస్ట్ థింగ్. అదే చార్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్కి బిగినింగ్ రాసుకోవాలి. సేమ్ చార్ట్ ఫర్ బోత్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ టేక్ డౌన్ ద ఆన్సర్ పార్ట్. While dialectical materialism represents the philosophical basis of Marxism, while dialectical materialism represents the philosophical basis of Marxism, comma, historical materialism represents its scientific basis. Historical materialism represents its scientific basis. Historical materialism represents its scientific basis. Full stop. It implies that in any given epo means in any given period, ancient period కావచ్చు, epo, it implies that in any given epo అంటే ఏంటి, period, in any given epo, comma, the economic relations of societies, comma, the means whereby men and women undertake production, distribution and exchange of material goods అంటే production relations, production, distribution and exchange of material goods for the satisfaction of their needs, played important role in shaping their social, political, intellectual and ethical relationships. Full stop. According to the Marxist perspective, this is the most important point, key point. According to the Marxist perspective, comma, the structure of the society may be understood in terms of base and superstructure. The structure of the society may be understood in terms of base and superstructure. Full stop. Base is a foundation. And superstructure is the external build-up. Base is the foundation and superstructure is the external built-up. EXTERNAL, external built-up. Full stop. In this building-like metaphor, METAPHOR, in this building-like metaphor, comma, base consists of the mode of production. While superstructure is represented by its while superstructure is represented by its legal and political structures. While superstructure is represented by its legal and political structures, comma, religion, comma, morals, social practices, comma, literature, art and culture, etc. Full stop. So base emo economics, production relations. Migitavani, all other things are superstructure. Mode of production has two components, TWO. Mode of production has two components. Give a small dash. Mode of production has two components. Forces of production and relations of production. Forces of production and relations of production. Mode of production అంటే బేస్ లో రెండు కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి ఫోర్సెస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అండ్ రెండోది రిలేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్. నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, forces of production has two components. Forces of production has two components. One is means of production in brackets tools and equipments. One is means of production in brackets tools and equipment and labor power. Means of production in brackets tools and equipment and labor power. Next para, last para. On the other hand, relations of production in any given epoch, EPOCH, relations of production in any given epoch are determined by the, relations of production in any given epoch are determined by the patterns of ownership of the means of production. Full stop. This gives rise to two contending classes. That is haves and have-nots. అయిపోయింది. దిస్ ఆన్సర్ కంప్లీటెడ్. సి 1 full పేజ్ వదిలేయండి, మీకు వాట్సాప్లో ఒక చాట్ పంపిస్తాను. ఈ క్వశ్చన్కి లాస్ట్ రాయాలి, నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్కి బిగినింగ్ రాయాలి ఆ చాట్. ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ చాట్ బై 11 AM టుడే. మార్నింగ్ 11 కల్లా ఆ ఫుల్ పేజ్ చాట్ పంపిస్తాను. ఆ చాట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డ్రా ఇట్ టుమారో ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. మీరు ఈవినింగ్ కల్లా రాసేసుకోండి, రేపు క్లాస్లో చాట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాం. 1 full పేజ్ లీవ్ వదిలేసేయండి. సో నెక్స్ట్ హెడ్డింగ్, Karl Marx on class struggle. See, in yesterday's class I told you, next topic, Karl Marx on class struggle. CLASS, class struggle. Class అంటే 2 classes తెలుసు కదా మీకు, రిచ్ అండ్ పూర్. సో నిన్న క్లాస్లో ఒక మాట చెప్పాను. ఇన్ yesterday's class, Karl Marx started his communist manifesto with a statement. The history of all hitherto existing societies is nothing but the history of class struggle. Ancient period, modern period, medieval period. But Karl Marx have not discussed about చెప్పాను నిన్న క్లాస్లో. కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ ఒక విషయం డిస్కస్ చేయలేదని చెప్పాను. వెరీ గుడ్. ప్రిమిటివ్ కమ్యూనిజం. When Homo sapiens have come to the world, there is a communist world. కమ్యూనిజం ఉంది అప్పట్లో. Marx is the father of communism. But Karl Marx is not the inventor of communism. But Karl Marx have not discussed about primitive communism. Karl Marx, ancient period, modern period, medieval. So, freeman and slave, patrician and plebeian, guildmaster and journeyman, in whatever name you may call, master and slave, capitalist and worker, there are two contending classes. And Jeppi Karl Marx, he wrote in Communist Manifesto, take down class struggle. Start quotations. I'm going to give a one paragraph directly translated from Communist Manifesto. ఒక పెద్ద పారాగ్రాఫ్ ఇస్తాను, అది డైరెక్ట్లీ కమ్యూనిస్ట్ మేనిఫెస్టో పారాగ్రాఫ్, అంతే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఫ్రీ మ్యాన్ అండ్ స్లేవ్ అంటే మాస్టర్ అండ్ స్లేవ్ అని. ఫ్రీ ఏదైనా హ్యావ్ రిచ్ అండ్ పూర్ అని. ఓకే, ఫ్రీ మ్యాన్ అండ్ స్లేవ్ కామా patrician and plebeian, PATRICIAN, patrician and plebeian, PLEBIAN. I'm repeating, PATRICIAN, 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 patrician and plebeian, PLEBIAN, comma, landlord and serf, landlord and serf, SERF, landlord and serf, comma, guild master and journeyman, GUILD, guild master and journeyman, guild master and journeyman, comma, in a word, oppressor and the oppressed, oppressor and the oppressed, stood in, STOD, stood in constant opposition, stood in constant opposition to one another, stood in constant opposition to one another, comma, carried on an uninterrupted, carried on an uninterrupted, uninterrupted, INTERRUPTED, carried on an uninterrupted, comma, now hidden, NOW, now HIDDEN, now hidden, comma, now open fight, now hidden, now open fight, now hidden, now open fight, comma, now hidden, now open fight, comma, a fight that each time ended, a fight that each time ended, ENDED, a fight that each time ended, comma, either in a revolutionary reconstruction of society, revolutionary reconstruction of society, either in a revolutionary reconstruction of society at large, either in a revolutionary reconstruction of society at large, or in a common ruin, or in a common, 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 RUIN, common ruin of both the contending classes, of both the contending classes, CONTENDING, of both the contending classes. I'm repeating, freeman and slave, patrician and plebeian, landlord and serf, guildmaster and journeyman, in whatever name you may call, oppressor and the oppressed, stood in the constant opposition, stood in the constant opposition to one another, carried on an uninterrupted, now hidden, now open fight, a fight that each time ended in the revolutionary reorganization of the society or common ruin in both the contending classes. సేమ్ ఇంతే రాయాలి. ఇది కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ కోట్, ఇది కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ చెప్పిన కోట్. ఒకసారి చూడకుండా ట్రై చేయండి. ఫ్రీ మ్యాన్ అండ్ స్లేవ్, పాట్రిషియన్ అండ్ ప్లెబియన్, గిల్ మాస్టర్ అండ్ జర్నీమన్, ల్యాండ్ లార్డ్ అండ్ సెర్ఫ్, in a word, oppressor and the oppressed, in whatever name you may call, there is a uninterrupted fight, carried in Japan, carried on uninterrupted, now hidden, now open. The fight that each time ended in the revolutionary reorganization of the society or in the common ruin of the both the contending classes. Done.